If you believe these headlines, you can buy a better sex life and thinner thighs. First, there's the so-called Dream Cream that promises to cure even the worst thunder thighs without diet or exercise. Then there's the Love Potion, designed to put the sizzle back into your love life. Dr. Winifred Cutler claims her secret formula works for most women. Annette and Leslie say it certainly worked for them. They're here to tell us how the Love Potion changed their lives. Please welcome Dr. Winifred Cutler, Annette, and Leslie. Oh, look at the twinkle. What is this? I have to tell you all, I'm a skeptic by nature, all right? So when I hear about this Love Potion, Leslie, I go, come on, it's $95 for a sixth of an ounce. How can it work? Tell me, how can it work?
It's wonderful. It worked. It turned my life upside down. I haven't been orgasmic for years, like 3 years.
Oh.
I'm 51 years old. I had orgasms for 6 years, a brief period of my life. And I lost it. I lost it because I'm in a lawsuit with my ex-husband, and I was married to him for 20 years. Bad memories, violent abuse, and I never had an orgasm. And so when I was 40 years old, I got divorced, and I started dating, and I found out what good sex is about. And then I met John, my fiancé, and I started to have orgasms, and then I lost them because I went to court.
Gee, well, that would do it. You're really happy about this. I didn't even ask for details, and she's just telling me everything here. Okay, don't hold back.
I'm ecstatic.
I'm
ecstatic.
You're ecstatic. Now, a lot of people go through, you know, sexual hiatus, slumps, whatever you want to call it. We all go through it. We get depressed, and, you know, it goes away for a while. And you're saying that by putting on this potion, that's all you did?
That's all I did. Believe me, it's been 2 years and about 7 months that I haven't had an orgasm. And I went to a doctor and tried to figure it out psychologically because I knew that going to court, going to depositions, seeing my ex was going to bring back all these old memories and just shut me down again down in this area. So,
now she's going to do a chart for us.
And I really wanted to get my orgasm back because we were going to get married, and I didn't want to get married until I was complete.
And now you're complete? I'm afraid to ask for a testimonial.
Well,
yeah. I'm afraid to ask for a testimonial. Your fiancé John is with us?
Yes, he is.
Okay, you want to? Yeah, John. Let me ask you: you want to testify to what she's saying?
It's all true, and it's wonderful, and it's wonderful. Yeah, it's just like she says.
Now, did you notice a difference? Was it like overnight when she put this stuff on?
No, I didn't even notice it for a whole week. I guess I was wrapped up in what I was doing. And
that really pissed me off.
And all of a sudden, I began to realize that, you know, she was acting more like she used to be years ago when we first met.
Risky.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And then I started getting perked up, too. And,
and
it's been getting better and better and better. And
now you want a potion for men?
Oh, no, this one works just fine.
Okay, thank you very much, John. All right. Let me also, before we turn to Dr. Cutler, who developed this potion, let me turn to you, Annette, because you've also experienced a dramatic change.
Absolutely. What had happened was, I have a husband who is kind of conservative and very stiff. Anyway, I put the perfume on, and I wanted to study it because I like aromatherapies and how it works, and I've been doing it with my clinics. But anyway, I had tried it on, and I said, well, something's got to change. And within the first week, everything changed. My husband became romantic. We went away for a weekend. I mean, it was like nothing ever before. 18 years of quiet conservative. And we're like, chandelier, here we come. You know, it's like my kids think I'm crazy. They're catching us in doorknobs and you know, in corners. And we're walking away. We go places. We're necking on the street in little public alleys. And it's like, it's wonderful.
And all because of this love potion.
You got it.
All right,
no more inhibitions, no more feeling intimidated. I mean, it's like anything goes, sweetheart.
Okay.
And it goes.
Now, the power of suggestion is a very powerful thing, right?
It has nothing to do with power of suggestion, because even if we wanted to do it, it was like, if it's not there, it's not there. But if you feel great and you look good and you want to feel good, everything else comes along with it. And that's what happened, because when I started feeling great and I started feeling good and I liked the way I looked, I didn't have a bad day. I didn't have a depressed day. I didn't feel like, oh, it's one of these bad, ugly days. Well, I feel kind of fat. No, forget it. It didn't make any difference. I felt wonderful. And when I felt great, he felt great. And anything goes.
Now it's the doorknobs. We're back to those. All right. Dr. Cutler, I don't know how you're smiling over here. You're the one you're responsible. You developed this. It's called Athena Pheromone 1013.
Yes, it is.
And this is your formula.
Yes, it is.
And it sounds too good to be true, which is...
Well, I'm smiling because what I'm hearing here is much more fantastic than I ever anticipated. The first study that I did in 1986, before what we have now, looked at a blank, we call it a placebo, and half the women got that on their upper lip, and it was just looked like alcohol, smelled like alcohol. Half the women got real pheromone. 3 times a week, they came into a lab, a technician put one or the other on them. Within 3 weeks, there wasn't a whole lot of difference. 11% of the placebo recipients had regular weekly sex. Regular weekly sex is very good for women. If a woman never mixes...
Is there any argument here from the women? Nobody so far.
But sporadic sex is very bad for women. Feast and famine behavior, just like feast and famine in dieting, will mess up a woman's endocrine system. It will make her age.
Wait a minute. This is new information here. Let me stop you here. You have done a lot of research. You are a research scientist. You're a biologist. Linking regular sex to the woman's health and well-being.
To her endocrine system, her fertility, the way she ages. So starting with that, we knew that a regular presence of a man was very good for a woman, and she couldn't do it for herself. That was our
shock
research.
to anybody in the audience here? I'm not sure.
That's a euphemistic, polite way to say it. Left to her own devices, she didn't get that same effect as the presence of a man in her life.
So what is it that a man brings to the party?
That was our question, and we started looking for pheromones. We looked at pheromones in women and in men, collected underarm essences.
Okay, I think you might be losing folks here. Let me just ask you what pheromones are.
They are biologic substances. Think of a female dog who is in heat. She gives off something into the atmosphere that her owner doesn't detect at all, but the male dogs of the same species from miles around will come running after her. They'll hurtle their bodies against the door of my house when my dog's in heat. And I look at her and I don't see anything different about her. She's emitting pheromones into the atmosphere.
So this is what you were trying to isolate?
Yes. So we went looking for human pheromones. We found them. We froze them, collected stuff, froze it, took it out a year later, thawed it out. Some women got the real stuff. Some women got a blank. The real stuff worked. The blank did not. So given all of that, and that was 7 years ago, I began developing to see whether, could I get a patent? Could we develop a business? Could we develop a product that women could add to their perfume that is that unappetizing alcohol-looking stuff, but it's really pheromones, pour it into the perfume, and then they apply the perfume 3 times a week on their upper lip. And I have 20 women in a study right now. These are 2 of those women who were sending me a fax once a week to my office saying what this week's results were. And I was smiling because I never anticipated.
You got reports like this on a weekly basis?
Yes, yes.
Well, pretty racy stuff. What do you think about this, audience? Is this something you would buy? Is this something that appeals to you? What do you think back here? Stand up for me.
Once you put it on, do you have any control over yourself?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes, we human beings have will, we have dignity, we have power. We are not wild animals like the dogs.
I was going to say they had
beyond
dogs chasing them or something. All right.
So yes, we do.
Yeah? That's all you want to know about this. All right. No, you had something back here. What?
I was saying, what are the ingredients of this product?
The exact formula is a trade secret. I can tell you that it's synthesized human pheromone. Dehydroepiandrosterone sulfate, dehydroepiandrosterone, DHEA, and it's dissolved in an alcohol, standard cosmetic alcohol. These are all natural products.
Now, would this make a difference if it wasn't all natural, if it's low fat? Wouldn't you just want it anyway or want the woman in your life to use it?
Not for $95, no.
Oh, what, for 3 cents a day? Wait a minute. It comes out to 3 cents a week.
3 cents a week?
For a whole year. If you put it into a 4-ounce bottle of perfume and you're only using 1 drop a day because the importance is under your nose, it costs you 3 cents a week.
Actually, probably 12 cents a week.
So it's cost effective.
Annette doesn't yet, yes it is, but Annette doesn't yet know because hers has not yet lost its potency. We estimate 4 to 6 months is the amount of time this little vial will keep its potency.
who cares? I'm worth it.
Oh, Sheila. Okay, now let me just, you know,
If it costs a dime, I want it. I
were
can
there
spend that
women?
much
Were
on
there
me a
women
week.
in the study? Because I was reading some of the literature, and it's like not a guarantee that this works for every woman.
And it does not work for everyone, and that's, of course, why I was smiling, because these are such extreme. I'm thrilled to know that this did this for these two people. It does not do that for everyone. We found in the original study and in the current one, about 3/4 of the women notice an effect, and they say, yes, this works, and they say, I want to continue using this. When this wears out, I want more.
All right, you had something over here? What do you want to ask? Stand up for me. Yeah.
How long does it last?
The potency, when you put it on here, you don't wash it off for 6 hours. That's the package insert directions. So let's say you put it on in the morning when you go into your office. We have women who say they're wearing it because it gives them confidence and they close deals.
You smell pretty good right now.
Thank you.
All right, you're not wearing this, are you?
No.
Okay, I'm taking my hand away. We're going to take a break right now. Stand by. To the research, you're aware of her research.
I'm very aware of her research, and actually, I think it's very interesting that the type of work that she's done. I mean, this particular hormone that she's using is something that's been very well researched, and we'll be seeing a lot more of in terms of that. But what she's doing is the pheromone is you're putting it under your nose. You are inhaling this, and so it is having some effect in the brain, perhaps altering your own bodily chemistry, but it's not really changing. Not going to make the man love you anymore. What it does is it changes the chemistry within yourself.
I would disagree.
There goes Leslie. Wait a second. What, Leslie? What?
It does make the man totally love you more. And
This is what our data is saying.
I mean, I'm a psych nurse, so I do know a little bit about psych and a little bit about med. And I just can't believe, I've tried everything. I'm a patient of Athena Institute. I do good nutrition. I diet. I swim. I've just moved to Florida. I've got wonderful weather. I have no excuse for not doing anything. And I took this potion, the love potion, or whatever you want to call it, and it changed me. I had a feeling down here, and I didn't have feeling down there for 2 years and 7 months.
And I want to say something.
Go ahead, Dr. Kelly. Yeah.
The original studies I did showed that when a woman never misses a week of sex, we call that weekly, weekly active women circulate twice as much estrogen in their blood as women who have a sporadic sex life. A sporadically active woman, feast and famine, the guy is there for 10 days, then he disappears for 7, 8, 9, then he shows up again. Does everybody know about that? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Woman in the back of the audience.
That's kind of the sex life to a single woman. She has a 50-50 chance of having estrogen levels so low that in her 20s, she has a body of a 70-year-old. So we have already seen the data that I've published, that I've learned about, I wrote about it in Love Cycle, shows that women who have regular sex, whether they're menopausal women or whether they're young women, circulate better hormones. So there are behaviors that we can do that affect our physiology, just like nutrition, just like exercise.
I'm not arguing against that particular point. What I'm saying, because it's clear that it makes you change, makes the woman, something in the woman change.
It's a circle.
But how does it affect the man to want to make more love to her?
I think wait, I want to say something about that. First of all,
she's got the experience.
If you're going to feel good about yourself, it's a natural substance first, and I'm a very adamant person about natural substances. If it's a natural substance that does not give you any side effects other than making you feel confident, making you feel good, it drops your inhibitions because you do feel good. You look in the mirror and say, I'm not fat, I'm pretty, I look good, I feel good, I'm sexy, I'm open. Hey, anybody around you, whether it's your husband or it's your friend, or I found men who I didn't even know.
Yeah, but that's because of what you're projecting. That's coming from the inside out.
But that's healthy.
No,
So
it is. I mean, and
about
that's what you're
myself.
getting back. I mean, the whole thing is that, as she's saying, it's a cycle. If you project
I think
more
it's a circle.
relaxed and
Exactly.
confident, that's why people are. That's why men are whistling
But
at you.
wait a
They
second.
sense this.
It's not that simple, because if you start with the other animals, take the female dog, she's not projecting anything. She can be locked up in my den, and the male, she's not projecting anything with any intention. She's not projecting a good mood. She's projecting her pheromones out into that atmosphere. And I think that's all we have done.
Do you use this potion? I know you're married.
I consider that private, and I will not answer.
Okay, that's fair.
Question. Are you saying that this increases the estrogen level?
No,
I mean, what do
it
you do
does
for
not.
somebody like me who's single, and with this day and age with AIDS and everything?
I'm glad you asked that. First of all, our study showed, the original study showed women who took pheromones did not alter their hormones. Women who have regular sex get changes in their
Seems
hormones.
to me that this regular sex thing is the key to everything.
It's
the
very
key to everything.
Now, in answer
Wellness
to
in
the
women.
single.
What about the men? What about the men?
Let me answer her single question. She says, what about me and I'm single? We have lots of single women in our study, and what they're telling me is, first of all, I'm very much in favor of monogamy, restraint, delay, not being sexual too soon. And I wrote about that in another one, Searching for Courtship. So those things all go together, how you behave. But it's awfully nice to attract because it gives you the power to decide what to do with what you attract. It's much better than not being attractive.
All right. Who's got questions back here? Stand up for me. Yeah.
To me, I feel you shouldn't need no potion to make you feel better. You're supposed to feel better on your own.
How about your earrings, your lipstick, and your hair? Why do you need that?
You spending your money on potion where you can spend, I'm saying, all this money for potion, you can make yourself feel better inside on your own. You don't need nobody else to make you feel better.
But I'm saying that a woman like you put on your earrings, you put on your necklace, you make your hair pretty.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Stand by. You're not on mic. Stand up for me here. Yeah.
$95 a month or
It's
whatever.
not a month.
I mean, that's like paying your rent almost.
No, it's not a month. What did you say last?
I figured if I'm using it for a year, it costs me about 10 cents if it's for a half a year.
Let's assume it's cost effective. I'm not sure that she's buying into the principle of the whole
It's
thing.
biological.
No, it's what?
It's biological. It's
What's
not,
biological?
Whatever this pheromone stuff is, I don't know what it is, but it does something to your body. And it doesn't matter what I
She's
have
sold on it. That Leslie's standing her ground. Who had a question? What? You're a man. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I agree with the lady who wrote the book. You still have to get the man interested also. It's not only the woman. You can have a woman that's throwing herself at a man, and the man don't want to do nothing with the woman.
Oh, you should
Not
see
gonna
the
happen.
women in our study. I've got to answer that. He's right. You're right that a man's got to be interested. Those single women are saying, I walk into a bar, I try your bar exercise, for example, when nobody ever noticed me before. Now I've got 4 different men coming up to me.
All right, now
inside of 20
that
minutes.
brings up, I know we have your daughter with us, Jeanette.
Yes.
Now, she's 17 years old, and she's also tried this.
I had given it to her as a test because I wanted to see whether it was just my imagination. I put it on her before she went to a party she wasn't quite sure she wanted to go to. She came back from the party. She'll tell you what happened. But it was a total change.
I don't want to rush her through it. We want to find out what happened to Jeanette at the party with the love potion. We're going to do that after the break. Next, we're also going to find out why isn't there a love potion or a dream cream made for men? A male comic answers the question of double standard when we come back. We'll be back. It's been said that men go bald and women get cellulite, but only women seem willing to buy into so-called miracle cures. Here to talk about why women will do just about anything for a sexier, slimmer body is Ted Blumberg, who has parts on these products.
Men and women are different, and when it comes to pheromones, the male and the female have very different roles to play. In every species, the female lures. She lures lots of males to her, and her power, her sexual power, is in making the choice from among all the males that compete for her favor. Males do not, in nature, lay back and lure women to them. Their job is to get it up and pursue females. And their role in biology and reproduction is different than women.
Is what she's saying wrong on him? The audience is going, gee,
she's right. It took John 3 weeks to catch up with me. And by the 3rd week, I was saying, you know, in my report, you know, give something to John. Because I really didn't believe that
you want
he
him
would
to keep
catch
up?
Yeah,
All right.
with me.
All right.
And he did.
I'd like to ask.
So he doesn't need it.
I would like to ask the
I read this.
Let me answer you.
Okay.
When you smell gas that's leaking in your house and you know and you call the gas company, that odor is a tag that's been added so that you can detect it. The gas itself has no odor. Human pheromones are odorless substances.
So that male locker room stuff's a myth, huh?
They come along
Gee, I'm
with that
glad to
tag.
hear that.
We take out the odor.
Okay.
If that love
parties, I like to meet people. And this one party I went to was a Halloween frat party, and I didn't know anybody. But I went there, and a few of the guys that were there, they asked me what I was wearing. You know, I was surprised because I didn't think about the perfume itself. I was just there to have a good time. And one guy asked me, I'd never met him before. He's like, "What are you wearing?" I was like, "Well, it's a secret. It's just this perfume." But it gets you more confident, it gets you more self-esteem, you feel good about yourself, and you tend to see more people be attracted to you.
All right, now, is she gonna be wearing this on a regular basis, Mom?
Well, I don't let her wear it when she goes out with her boyfriend, but
I sneak
she
it.
sneaks it out. I can smell my perfume going out the door, and I see, wait a minute.
I wore it a few times with my boyfriend, and I like the way he acts. So I wear it.
That's all we're gonna find out about her. We're taking another break.
We should talk about the definition of a cosmetic versus a drug. A drug is defined by the Food and Drug Administration, not by me, as something you take internally to fight a disease. A cosmetic is something you put on, apply externally to the skin, you sprinkle it, you pat it, for the purpose of promoting attractiveness. And if you look at every woman in this room, they are wearing, just about every single woman is wearing things as cosmetics to promote their sexual attractiveness.
I would disagree with that because we have many of the things